Q Smitty Media. Listen, man, today I'm in the building with some legends at the Safe Summer Series event here at Huffman High School in Birmingham, Alabama. The one and only 112 pulled up on us, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, brothers.
How you doing, man? This is Mike. And I'm Slim.
Mike and Slim, 112. So talk to me, 112. I really want to know about the journey of 112. Where did you guys get that name 112 and what does it stand for in today's time?
The name came from, to go back, back in the 90s, like when people started realizing just how prominent Atlanta was, which is where we're from for those that, don't know. One of the places that people always gravitated towards was the Club 112. So to use that as the basis, for, where the name came from, we sat down with Puff, and wanted to figure out a name because at the time my name was Forte and we couldn't come out as Forte because there was a rapper name from the West Coast named Rapping Forte. So we didn't want to confuse the two and we just wanted to have a new identity. This was a fresh start for us. We were starting at Bad Boy. So we wanted to just start from ground zero, right? So we just kept coming up with these different names and stuff. And where we met Puff was at 112. And we said, it was almost, what do they call it? Serendipitous or whatever, where, we met him at 112. 112 was iconic. Everybody that comes to Atlanta at that point, everybody always goes to 112. So, we just put the two together. And, so that's where the name came from. We wanted to associate ourselves. It still didn't work because initially, people thought we were from like 112th in Harlem or something like that. They know it's from New York, until they heard us speak and then they realized, okay, yeah, these boys from the South. But, we had to incorporate where we're from in certain songs like Peaches and Cream. We're talking about how we're from the A and all this other stuff. So we had to incorporate that so people understood that we actually were from the South and we was actually from Atlanta. Nothing against New York, but that's where we originated from. So that's where the name came from. What does it mean for us now? The word legacy keeps popping up in my head, so I'll go with that. And it's just reaffirming our legacy, man. It's just, we've been doing this for the better part of 30 years. And, now we're in that iconic stage of our careers, like the New Editions of the world, like the Frankie Beverly's of the Charlie Wilsons of the world and whatnot, man. Those artists who, regardless of whether or not they put out music or not, they sell out and, as evident tonight, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those kind of things, man, where we don't take it lightly. We don't take the responsibility of, and the responsibility and also the importance of what it means to represent this brand after 30 years, man. So it means a lot to us, man, but more so than anything is legacy is what keeps popping up in my head.
Man, legacy is everything. So I want to talk to you guys because we love a good story time, man. Tell us a highlight of your career based on all the things that you guys have experienced.
Man, that's crazy. We've experienced a lot of things, probably from like winning Grammy.
The Grammy thing was crazy.
That was a big thing because, we weren't expecting to win. And, it was like we just got through finish, performing. Went to the back. We started putting on our regular clothes, go back out there in the crowd. And, we heard them say, and the winner is P. Diddy, 55 and 112. Oh man, we gotta put it back.
You're right.
Running back to.
But, when we tried to get back, it was too late. But, that was an amazing situation. And, we're just blessed. We just been blessed to, from day one. From the first single and our debut for it to be one of the biggest, biggest debuts of a group in the 90s and stuff like that. And, everything's just been a blessing and just humble and just blessed.
Yeah, that Grammy was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Man, that's major, man. Congratulations as well. So, looking at today's R&B, what are you guys' thoughts about today's R&B singers, based on the evolution of R&B from when you guys first came to the game to now? What advice would you give them and where do you see R&B going?
You know what, Shy? You actually be answering that way better than I do, man. So I'll let you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I mean, looking at the artists now, amazing. Like, they're definitely doing their thing. So big shout out to all of the new artists that are definitely keeping it R&B. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and definitely and then dabbling off because like they don't sound the same. So love that. And that kind of reminds of us, you know, 112, we would sit there and we would listen to the radio and, we'll be like, okay, well, I know how we came out first time and, you know, we'll listen to what's going on and we'll do something totally different. That's why none of our songs sound the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it seems like these artists are doing very, very well. Like, I would just say to all of the, new artists to, you know, stay true to yourselves and, you know what I mean, get to know yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, really first, you know, go into the history of, you know what I'm saying, R&B, you know what I mean? So, cause like sometimes to like better yourself, you got to know about the past and, you know what I mean? Like what originated and what made you, you know, made you able to be where you are. And then, you know, just, study your craft and, you know what I mean? And, you know, and just master it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that the best artists are the ones that, you know, they're just as good on the stage, off the stage. Can't just be a studio artist and then can't go ahead because people are going to read and write into it. And, you know, that's why we're still here 28 years later and we're still, you know what I mean, doing just as good, if not a little better than we were when we first started. So, you know, that's the place.
Major milestone. What's your favorite song out of all the songs y'all made, man?
Ooh. Oh, man. Man, cause asking that is like asking who's your favorite child. You know what I mean? So it's like each one of them had a different, like for me, for example, the first album would always be the most important to me because it took us 19 years to make that first album. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, so
we have 19 songs. Too.
Right. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it took the evolution of growing up and to make that first album. The rest of the albums were relatively easy compared to that first one. So I would say, where the album that holds a special place in my heart is that first one because it took all of that to get to the culmination of us growing up, going into, different talent shows in Atlanta, singing in the chorus and all that culmination created the first album. Yeah. And then from that point on, we were able to, you know, create other albums and stuff like that. But we had the music industry in us at that point. But the first album, I say. So, but again, man, it's like, it's hard to say what is your favorite song because each one of them represented a different point in our lives and stuff like that too, man. So, I had a great time, man. So me personally, I couldn't give you one song that was like my favorite or whatever because each one of them represented something different for me at that time. So.
Yeah, that's true. Like we were in our fields, like it just depends on what day it is.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I say like when we do music, it's all about, you know, what mode you're in, you know what I'm saying? Like just play the records.
Yeah. I will say this, Peaches and Cream, Cupid, Only You, Anywhere, those keep the lights on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so let's go with those four.
Man, I know Anywhere had me, you know what I'm saying, getting right all the time for them date nights, man. I ain't gonna lie.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you for that, man.
Yes, sir.
Too.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
Now, you guys have been paying attention to what's been going on in the, media industry right now with, P. Diddy, and you guys were recently signed to Bad Boy Records, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are you guys' thoughts about, you know, working with him personally compared to what you guys have been seeing in the media? What are you guys' thoughts about what's been going on?
Well, honestly, man, we're not really paying attention to a lot of what's going on in the media, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it didn't really have anything to do with us, you know, but I will say that, when we worked with Puff in the early 90s up until about 2004, right? Somewhere around there.
Well, we left 2003.
Yeah, 2003. So from from like 94 to about 2003, that's when we, you know, that's when we worked with him, man. And I will say that dude had a serious work ethic. He was very hard on his artists, but that translated into us being better artists, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, not acting like, you know, we don't know what's going on, but at the same time, bro, we just choose to not, you know, speak on that or whatever, man. We let the law and let the lawyers handle all of that other stuff, man. But as far as our relationship with him, it was, we worked hard and we were very successful at working hard with him. So
We're about to go ahead and wrap this thing up. The voice of the South, Q Smitty with 112 right here. Hey man, peep the scene. If y'all at a evening bar, which one would y'all prefer to go to? A brunch bar, evening bar, or nighttime bar for a rooftop bar?
You know what?
I go brunch.
Rooftop. I gotta go to rooftop bar for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I
do
do
fly stuff.
I do brunch. I'll do brunch.
You do the brunch?
Yeah, go ahead and get it on out the way. You know what I mean?
Get on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel that. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we out. Keep it cool and keep it smooth.
Yes, sir.